Woof! Hey there, it's me. Where am I? Where's that? Where's that? No, that's not the wrong thing. Oh, goodness. It's me, Bad Dog, and it's time. And Doug, and Rick, you were supposed to get... Rick was supposed to get Doug. He's saying hello and welcome to the show. It's our Tuesday night hall pass, and we are here today to talk about some Fab Finds that we actually had in the past week. We happened to do a little thrifting on a couple of days last week and found some really neat stuff. We also found one of the most interesting things we found in a long time that we're going to talk to you about today. That could be a little minimal investment, and we're struggling to know whether we're going to sell it or what we're going to do, but it could be worth good money. But it's still very interesting, and it's a tough research project for Rick. And we're going to have a little thrift it and throw it for the back half to see what you would have thought was some of the stuff we did buy. So here we go. Stay tuned. Woof. Hello, it's me. And of course, we got the good dog in the basement again. He's actually joining us today.
Yes, I'm joining in.
Yeah.
The fun.
Happy Tuesday. We've had some fun. Obviously, Doug is now hopefully downstairs with Rick, so he's not going to bark. Say big hi. Hey, Janet. Hi, Diane. Nellie. Hey. Mr. Carl up in Ottawa, and Donna. Hello, Brian. Diana. How you doing? Sherry. Marianne. Heather. Susan. Rick.
Hello.
Dawn and Catherine. Ollie, I think I said Ollie already. Oh, well, hope you guys are all doing good. Hey, Claire. Hope you guys are all doing good for the beginning of this week. It's as you saw, if you're in the Kennel Club, you've seen this week it's a you do you week, and it's because we wanted to give people a break from like having to have something they had to do every single day, or with some of the challenges we've had even in every single week. Like you can see, yeah, I can point that way. He still hasn't finished his challenges from those, but he moved them. The fact that he's moved them has been really like exciting for me. It's like, oh, he's touching fabric. Yay. He's not doing anything else with it.
Careful.
But yeah, so we did a little bit of thrifting last week. Rick was home on one of the times when I had to drop some stuff off, and I was doing some of it like with him on Messenger back and forth. But again, so we're going to take you through some stuff we found today, and go, okay, here's some stuff that we found. We'll let you know what we think about it, just to basically to show everybody that this is stuff from all around the thrift store. Like some people say, I can't find anything. And this is all from almost all of it, except for the big interesting thing is from Value Village. Or Value Village or Savers. And I always hear people saying, oh, I can't find anything there. Oh, their prices are too high. Well, there's a lot of stuff that their prices can be high on. But if you're looking for stuff and you look through various parts of the store and you expand your horizons, you'll never know what you're going to find in there. And that's going to be, I'm hopefully going to prove that a little bit today with just a whole mishmash of stuff that I found just in the past week for us to flip. And some of it was really cheap. Some of it had a little bit more money in it. But we'll hopefully get a little bit more money out of it. So I want you to think about those things. And when we get to the Thrift It or Throw It, you'll see normally when we do that Thrift It or Throw It, nobody necessarily agrees. Last time, I think the first 3 or 4 that we did, everybody did opposite to what I did. And some people, I think Molly was one of those, or Sherry was one. Sherry, I got everything wrong. So it's like
I just wanted to touch on one point that you made, Craig, about thrift store pricing. Basically, we have made the decision that whatever the price is, we do our research and make the decision in the store. We don't complain about the pricing. If the price is too high for us to make a decent profit, we don't buy it and move on.
Yeah. And in some cases, that means that you can go through something really quickly. Some cases, you look at stuff and you do laugh in some cases at the prices. And I know that depending upon where you live, you may have a thrift stores that go a little crazy with their prices as well. But for example, we've got people who have access to, we don't have access to any of the bins like some people have great access to. We don't have access to any of the Goodwill blue box things that you can order like Brian does, Discounters does. Hey, Robin. Hello. Hey, Paul. And Heather says, oh, yeah, the Goodwills were too crowded. Even though we're vaccinated, we left. Yeah, it's starting to get a little crowded. But yeah, that's our point now. Just like, if it's too high, it's kind of like complaining about if you got a bad review or something like that, or you've got a difficult situation with a sale. We got one today, and we'll talk about that first, because it's like semi-disappointing in the one aspect. So I'm not sure. We haven't got an answer on it yet. So we had a teacup, and Rick is becoming kind of Mr. Teacup. I don't even know. That's really sounds strange. Yeah, he's so dainty with his teacup. Well, there goes one of our thrifted to throw. It's right there. So
sorry.
But yeah, that's slightly better. But yeah,
I wasn't thinking. I'm not.
At a garage sale, one of the few that I've been to, at a garage sale, teacups for the win. Well, this is one of them, and I will actually pass it over to Rick while I find the actual thing that I'm looking for him.
Yeah, it was one of the Paragon teacups.
I'm gonna find the sale post, Rick. I wasn't prepped for it, so I'm gonna take myself out for you.
Well, he didn't tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, so basically,
why don't you talk about what the Paragon cup? What I just said, we just had an issue today.
Okay.
What's the issue that we're dealing with, hun?
I know what the issue is. Okay. I just don't know what you want to tell me to tell about it. Anyway, sorry. I'll go right to the very beginning. We sold one of the Paragon double warrant teacups on
auction. Cecily.
Go away. We sold a Paragon teacup on auction for, I think, $351 US. It had a number of bids, and the buyer was located here in Toronto. So I packed it up and shipped it off through Canada Post. The buyer received the teacup today and basically said, there's a problem with it. And she found a hairline crack in the handle and a little bit of crazing that somehow I overlooked. Ah, there it is. That is the Wild Rose Paragon teacup. I could not find any examples of it easily. Finally found one listed for $615. Decided to throw it up on auction. I think we started the bid at $149.99. I can't remember exactly, but it did go up to $351, as I recall. Oh, $338, sorry. Again, the buyer received it and noticed that it didn't ping as clearly as she liked. And she did a microscopic examination of it and found that there was a hairline crack in the handle. Now, when I did the ping test, it was a very clear high ping. I did not sense that there were any cracks. So I expect that it's likely that the teacup may have developed the crack during shipping. At least that's the story I'm going to tell myself, because I'm pretty thorough when I look at teacups now. I understand, because people are spending so much money on these that they want them to be as perfect as possible. So if Craig could click on the second picture or the fourth picture over, it should expand it and you can see the hairline crack in the picture. I would notice that in my examination of the cup. If you zoom in a little bit, Craig, you can actually see there's also a tiny little bit of crazing. Nope, can't do it on his computer. In any event, we have sent a message apologizing to the buyer, saying we're really sorry. And what would you like to do? You can either, would you like a partial refund, or do you want to return it to us? And we are waiting to hear back from them for whatever their decision is. At the end of the day, whatever we need to refund, it's going to be fine. We'll be out the shipping potentially if she asks for a full refund. We probably won't ask her to send it back. It'll just be a, hey, full refund, enjoy.
Yeah, Carl says those hairlines can be really hard to see. I have trouble finding a hairline personally. I've had trouble for that. But
you have no trouble finding a crack.
Oh, Dawn has asked us about a ping cup for teacups. I know about it for crystal. So,
well, since I've already showed it,
what are you going to show them?
You can hear the sound. If it's a bright, clear ping, there are no cracks in the teacup. The ping will be a lower timbre, or it'll have a thunk if it's got a crack in the actual cup. So.
Yes, well, and that's actually one thing that I've kind of learned, Don, myself. So if you see me in a store, you'll see me like with it. I don't have any teacups here, but if you did, you'd see me, and I'm sitting there going clink clink, holding up by the edge, and like if I hear thunk, I don't hear much, then I immediately put it back down, and just say I'm giving up on that. So I think you said that you have. Yeah, there's Carl saying the same thing. Hold the teacup in your hand and ping it with your finger. It's hard. You have to watch how you hold it too. So Rick is always saying, like, you can't put it on your palm. It doesn't really work well.
Yeah, basically, you have to kind of dangle it from your fingers so that you're not holding on to the edge of the handle.
Yeah.
You're basically using your fingers to hook the handle, and that way you can ping the cup and you'll hear it ring or not. I can hear the bells.
Audrey, it's possible, but it's also possible that cracked. So the thing is, we always try to think about this as if we were the buyer. So a lot of times, and you'll see in a number of different boards that talk about reselling, they focus on the negative. They focus on the scammers and everything like that. We focus on the hundreds of thousands of amazing transactions that happen all the time. We've had a few things. Some of you who've watched this before recall I had that Momiji statue that I bought.
Don't bring that one up.
$9.99. And unfortunately, Rick didn't pack it great. And it arrived in Japan, and somebody paid $600, $700 for it, Rick. And when it arrived in Japan, the head got smashed. And so it's like, I don't know why that they would claim that they got a head smashed and then they're searching around trying to find one. As Rick said, he had trouble even finding this particular one out there. So I really don't like to think. We try to think most positively about stuff and go, well, if this is what happened, this is move on. She may be very happy with it and end up just asking for a partial refund. That's great. If not, we'll just get it returned. And we actually may even, it's because they happen to be in Toronto, we may actually even drive to pick it up so that we don't have to pay another $20 for a return. And then if we put it back on again, we'll put it back on at like $40 and show that hairline crack. But Rick is like the packing ninja when it comes to these teacups, because we've happened to have sold quite a few of them. We sold a $479 one about 3 weeks ago. We sold two $70 ones in the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
And these are all ones that I'm finding at Value Village that, again, some people wouldn't even touch. Why? Because they're priced between $6.99 and $9.99. And a lot of people would go, I'm not paying $9.99 for a teacup. Well, $9.99 with a $2 coupon makes it like $9 Canadian or $7 American.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find a teacup for $7 American that you can flip for $50 American, that's $30 or $40 in profit. So that's the kind of thing that we usually like to do. I don't know who's Jake Smith. I don't know, Brian. Why did you ask that? Did I say something about that? So yeah, so that's the way that we look at what they were. Carl got $100 for a cracking cup and saucer. Yeah,
he said cracked. He corrected himself and said cracked. Someone else asked if Don Wright's mom is asking if there was insurance on the cup and saucer. We sent it Canada Post, and I kept the insurance at the $100. I didn't pay the extra $7 or $8 it would have been to insure the cup for $353 US. So it wasn't worth the investment. And I think with Canada Post, I don't think they insure breakables. So there you go.
So sometimes things don't work the best the way that you hope to do. Sometimes, yeah, it's as simple as a post office, like Heather says, it's being brutal when you're handling it. Again, Rick he boxes them. He wraps the cup. He boxes the cup in its own box. He wraps and boxes the saucer, and then wraps those and boxes those in a box. It's like he boxes and wraps and boxes. So
Diane has confirmed Canada Post does not insure breakables.
And just as the thing, it's also in talking about when you happen to hit something like that, this is the thing to think about. You are not out the money you sold it for. This is our mantra, whatever, however you want to say it. You're out what you paid and potentially the shipping. If something you've got in the house is worth $500 and you don't sell it, it's not worth $500. So all we lost on that is probably if we lose it, it'll be the $5 and something else.
That was one of the teacups you got for like $2 at a garage sale, I think.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let you chat for a second while I pull something out.
Yeah, so basically the teacup itself was $2 maybe, and the shipping was $10 US, so $12.50, $13 Canadian, because they're in the same city as us. So if anything, we're out $20 max. It's not nice to lose the profit, but I don't count profit until the end of the year when we're doing our taxes. It's kind of make money here, lose money there, even out at the end of the year. As long as we're on the positive side, I'm happy with it.
Speaking about another thing that's in this exact same world, and this is why I said we sometimes make money, we sometimes don't make money. You guys probably did not think that this would sell. I bet you most of you said this would not sell, but look what we sold. We sold the belly buttons. We sold the belly buttons. That horrible picture that all of you people are like, oh God, we gotta stop. We sold them for $125 US. So you didn't think that they would even sell. I put them up at $250 as a joke, and those are something that we bought for $2.98. They actually sold, and they went to someone in Montreal. And the person in Montreal got them, and they made a comment to us that they weren't as happy as they hoped to be because this top one actually was a lot underdeveloped, he said, versus that. The colors of the belly buttons were not even. And he said, I know you could sort of see it when you did the one picture, but as you went through the individual pictures, it color corrected itself, so they looked like they were all the same thing. And again, I know you people just love looking at those photos.
Yeah.
So what we ended up having to do with that is they said, is there anything we can do? And we said, okay, well, it's one of two. How about we send you $50 back since you paid like $100 plus shipping for them? And he said, or $125. And he said, sure. And we already got positive feedback.
And we didn't ask him to return the.
Didn't want and keep the other one, do whatever you like with it. But we actually, so we ended up doing that, and we still made $30 or $40 on something that we bought completely as a joke. And
we paid $1.98 for both of them at an Ambet. Sorry, $2.98 as an Ambet thrift.
And this is Heather. Oh, you're right in there with Brian discounters on this. Well, some belly buttons are more developed than others. I'm used to Brian being that fast, but that's the fact that Brian, you got outshot by Heather on that one. So before we go on to some of the other stuff, the one thing I did want to mention today, which is in the announcements, the news kind of thing, I want you all to remember if you are on eBay, one of the things that they have just announced the other day is they're doing external promoted listings. So remember, I always tell you, go to the eBay announcements page. And what they're actually starting to do is starting, I think this week, those of you who have done promoted listings, when you pay for promoted listings, when you do that, you're actually only paying for the promoted listing to be promoted within eBay. Multiple ways, people always forget that. There's multiple ways that promoted listings are working for eBay. We do have a video all about promoted listings on the 2DogsDigs channel if you want to go and see how all the different places it works. But it's now going to promote if you're in promoted listings, it's also going to push your ads out. So onto Google, onto web searches and things like that. So that way it's actually kind of like Etsy. So Etsy right now, if you are advertising, if you put anything on them and sell it for $35 US plus free shipping, then you are being higher ranked for them, and you're also being pushed out more often into their Google ads. eBay has been pushing people's stuff out into Google ads, but now promoted listings is going to push some of those more ads out. So that little bit extra that you pay may end up leading to somebody actually buying directly from you. And we found that on Etsy. We have had multiple items bought by guests who have only seen the ad when they did a Google search for it. So it's actually a really interesting thing that they've started to do by not only using promoted listings inside eBay as cross-referenced. If you recall, when you're looking at some other things, they're pushed below other things by the seller. They're pushed in other places, and now they're going to be using that to push on the outside too. So just wanted to bring that up.
I'm looking forward to seeing that in action.
And there's also some details on that page if you go there, and we'll put a link to that actually in the Kennel Club because it actually is. There's a downloadable campaign report that you actually will be able to look at. There we go. That shows promoted listings, clicks via external placements, conversion via external, and promoted sales via external. So, and your ad fees are going to be showing external versus internal. So if you don't want to do it, you can opt out of it, but it doesn't change anything that you pay. So why would you opt out of it? But some people just might want to do it that way. So if you do promoted listings, if you haven't tried promoted listings, again, try them. Think about it. Maybe try it on one or two of your items. eBay will suggest the amount that you need to put in the promoted listings, but you can move it all up and down. You can move it to anything you want. Some people do promoted listings, like Becky, I believe, does promoted listings on almost all her items at a very flat rate. Some people do them at like 1% for everything. We've actually tried things in the past where instead of running a sale, we've just added 10% to the promoted listings and run it way over. So it might push our ads out more. And it's the same thing. If I'm paying that promoted listing and somebody buys it because they see it more, paying 10% may push it up higher in eBay. And it's the same as me taking 10% off the price in a sale. So it's a different way to think about promoted listings, but it's another way that they work for you. So
it's another strategy to employ when you've got items that aren't moving.
Maybe we'll do an update on promoted listings coming up soon on one of our Tuesday shows. So, but today, the rest of today is all about fun finds and things along those lines. And one of the first things I found, and I wished I was trying to figure out who the heck I could give this to. So I don't know. I actually bought this. Now, I think Diana, which is here. But I don't know how old Diana is. So if you're younger than this, then I'm up without a paddle. But I found this, and it's the first thing I thought of when I saw it for you. It says, "Vintage
cover your virgin ears."
Vintage vixen, perfectly aged. And the reason I actually thought about Diana with this is because the next line says, "Foxy and a bit tart with a quirky aftertaste." I don't want to know about the aftertaste side of things, but I saw this, and Diana, oh my God, that is hilarious. There's your birthday present. You just turned 50 this year, last month. That is just fortuitous that we're going to get that to you. I just love that. And again, I saw that and I thought of you as soon as I saw it. And I think what made me think of you is the foxy and a bit tart. And don't worry, I'm a big spender. It was only $1.99. Speaking of $1.99, sometimes you find stuff that is pretty interesting to buy that you might think about flipping immediately in some way. One of the things that I did find, and interestingly enough, you also sometimes find, yes, Scarlett, can I help you?
No, it's getting a little toasty down here because the air conditioning is off.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were having hot flashes.
I'm all flustered, yeah.
So I always like to look for things that are in their original package. So again, stuff we're going to show you today before we do the Thrifter to Throw It is all about stuff that you find and go, what can I do with it? So this is by a company called Luminarc. It is a set of candlestick candle holders. And the interesting thing about the Luminarcs can be a good name. It's not necessarily really high end, but it can be a good name for flipping. Well, they had this for $1.99, and then they had this set for $2.99. The same thing. And then they had this set for $2.99. And when I looked these up, this set had actually sold for between $15 and $19 on its own. So I actually went to the cash register and got all three of them $6, and I used a $2 coupon, so it was actually $5 for the set of 6. And so this is the kind of thing I'm going to take these, and most likely I'm going to flip these inside one of our max sold auctions, and we're actually launching a new max sold later on tonight. After we finish this show, we're looking at the final on our catalog to launch another. Hi, Rihanna. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. At 75 is the new 50. Yes, I guess that's true. So that's something I found that I liked. And then something else that we actually sold, and we sold these on Etsy, I think I've told you about before. And I know Brian Discounters actually said he sold 2 more of these. Found these this week. Daniel Steele's Kaleidoscope DVDs. They were actually like $1.99.
They're so easy to list too.
So easy to list, so easy to sell. We usually sell them in pairs. If you can find one, I believe it's the Ring. It's actually one that can sell for up to $100. So again, DVDs, just like as Jason T. Smith, who just joined us, just like CDs, cassettes, vinyl, DVDs, they still sell. You just have to find what it is that you have and what's sold. In fact, for example, if you recall, even paperback books, those are all sort of, to me, in that same realm of older media per se. Paperbacks, hardcovers, DVDs, CDs, they're all stuff that actually you can find people who can buy them. There's a lot of people out there who want them. And I was really, I saw the 2 of these. I was like, yay. And then I spent another 5 minutes trying to see if there was another Daniel Steele anywhere, because these happen to be right beside each other. So happy with that as a Fab Finds. This was really interesting to me, and I have to do some more research on it because I have not been able to find it in my quick research. And I do want to thank those of you in here, especially Brian Discounters, for talking up about using Google Images search, because now that's my second go-to when I'm sitting inside thrift stores. I don't know how I got along without it.
I was so surprised when he told me he was using it, because normally him and technology do not mix well.
No,
or
it's
play
because
well.
of the.
My hat is off to you, Craig.
The things in my as you said, the aura, whatever waves coming, flames on the side of my
the gravity field.
My head is like a giant, turns most mechanical things. But now that I've and when Rick tries to explain them, he talks down to me like I'm basically one, and it really drives me crazy. So I don't listen to him at all.
It doesn't work either. So
no.
You
but
still
this is
remember
something
the dip and bite
again, sometimes. Oh, Diana says, I have no luck with Google image search, and Bowen is a master. Lisa loves Google image. I do really love it. Yeah, it's something that I've learned. Yes, for IDing toys, it's amazing. Oh, Heather just bought a set of teen paperback series. Very good. What did Holly just found? Oh, no. That's great. I mean, oh, great. Oh, no. Oh, great. I'm still looking at that. Any of those old... that's one of my Holly, like Salem's Lot and It and Carrie are 3 of my like Stephen King.
I'm sure we have a couple of those in the bedroom in the box of books that I've been there for 20 years.
But this was something. Another Holly's like, yeah, swoop 10 seconds. It's the easiest. This is something that I actually haven't. I tried looking it up on Google Image and couldn't find it. That was what gets me when it gets really strange. And this is for Lego collectors. And again, sometimes you pay a little bit more. And this is Lego System flat sheet, like a twin size flat sheet, brand spanking new, sealed. You can see there's the little Lego bricks in there. There's the Lego System logo underneath there. It's true Lego, and it is a sealed Wabasso flat sheet. And I don't know much about the Lego System side versus Lego, but even at $7.99, I was not passing this up because I figured somebody who is a Lego fanatic is going to go nuts for this, for background, for their bed. Like, you know, I mean, if you've got a kid who's into Lego, you can just imagine this twin size. It's a flat sheet too. It's not the fitted, so it's the sheet that goes over top. So I'm going to actually be listing this probably starting in around, I don't know whether I'll get it or not, but I'm going to be starting this somewhere around the $50 mark, just because I think it's that interesting of a thing to pick up. Other things are sometimes interesting and you're not sure why. Well, this was actually strange because Rick and I were out and we found this fox. And it was like, okay, this is an interesting fox. But what was really interesting is it had this on
That's my what does the fox say?
This fox says Stenarol flavomycin, which is the strangest thing. Now, we tried to see whether Stenarol flavomycin, the Stenarol flavomycin fox, was actually something that was made. We bought him for $3.99. Well, we couldn't really find it. So I don't know if this has just been put on him by somebody who was giving it as a promotion. But the good thing about it was he actually is a Mary Meyer plushie, and they have a good resale value on their own. So this guy is probably about a $25 or $30 plushie on his own. And this, we don't know whether we're going to sell that on its own or with, like, I couldn't, I'd have to squish his face to get it off. It was just the strangest thing to see all these plush sitting there in this store and then see Stenarol flavomycin going, what's the strangest name for a dog? And we were going to name Doug Agador Spartacus, but that would have won out over the strangest dog name. So now Rick does not warn people when he decides to use his like voice from hell.
Yeah, I can be loud without intent.
Then this was another one that was like just
learn how to project
that Google Images could not help me with. So this is what I mean. I have to do this first. I have to flip it to how I found it. So I was in a store, and this is what I saw hanging on a baggie wall. Now, if anybody took a look at that, I don't know what do you think made me decide I have to take a closer look at this? Just out of curiosity, not you, Rick. Not you. This is for the lovely people in the audience, not you.
Then take me off screen.
There. Diana's saying the big patch in the bag. Actually, yeah. So the other stuff that's inside it, I couldn't really tell what much of it was. I saw this little thing that looked like 2015 hog. Don't know what that is, but that's what got me. I'm gonna rip it open now because I haven't ripped it open. This is why I picked it up. Now the thing is, for the life of me, Google Images could not help me in this one. This was one of those things that Google Images did not work. I did do a little bit more research standing in the store, and I don't know why, because it was $3.99, and I thought, for $3.99, why am I guessing? I mean, there is a Harley Davidson sticker inside here. There is, again, this is probably Harley Davidson, but Hog 2016 patch, Hog 2015 patch, 30 years of Hog patch. So I think this, like, that's okay, but well, that's what I eventually found out. It took me a while to figure this thing out. And yeah, it's actually, everybody's got it from a motorcycle. This is a Chicago motorcycle club. So it did take me a little while trying to find it, but I have no idea whether they'll be interested in this or not. So this is one that I'm challenged to try and figure out what the heck I'm going to price it on. Like if you saw, and it's in perfect shape, brand new, but throw in your comments. What do you think that you would throw this out at as a price for Elevator Riders RC, a Chicago-based motorcycle club? I'll do a little more research on these guys just to see what they are on their own. But yeah, I didn't know that a hog and Harley meant the same thing. Harley owner group. I didn't realize that hog meant Harley owners group. You learn something new every day. So that's, yeah, that was again, this is, but let me know what you think. If you had to sell that and it's a localized thing, what do you think you would actually price that at? Because I mean, we've always talked to people, you can sell a lot of local things because there are local people, even if they're not in your city. We've sold souvenirs from places. We've sold mugs that have gone back to the city we bought them in that are from like a restaurant or a bar. We've sold sugar cubes. So it doesn't matter that it's not from a city that we're at. Somebody in Chicago.
Yeah, and it's an unused patch, so I don't have. I'm comfortable selling an unused patch. If it were attached to a jacket, then I might be a little more reluctant.
Sherry says $25. Someone, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Someone in the club may need one. Doesn't think they're worth a lot. I have no idea. 25 or 40 for the group. Okay, 49. Okay. Excellent.
Charlene found the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah. See, and again, long tail. Yeah, that's probably what I might end up doing. I'll throw it up. I might throw it up as an auction, but I don't know if anybody is going to be sitting there typing in on a daily basis, or if they have ready in their search the elevator riders RC. Like Lisa says, my sister-in-law is an elevator mechanic, and it appears they are a riders club of elevator and escalator workers.
What's an escalator worker?
You never know what the heck you're going to end up finding next. I'm going to throw into one thing, and then Rick, do you have anything before? Like, you've got a couple of things, or are they?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. The first thing is this lovely ceramic plate with a rhinoceros on it. I cannot find anything similar to this, not even in Google Images. It just would not pick anything up. I'm not sure if we're going to keep this or not. I actually like it that much, but it is kind of cool. It almost feels like it's a marble inlay into the ceramics, and the back is kind of cool. And that's the address of the woman who owned it, who probably passed on, and her family threw everything into the thrift store. The next thing is a Salem puppet. This is actually from the 60s. They're quite collectible. This guy is Hansel. He's in fairly decent condition. His strings are a little tangled, so I have to work on them to get them untangled. And he was $14.99 less 20%, so probably 14 Canadian. So he should sell for maybe 55 or 60 US, and we'll see how that goes. The last thing that I have to show is the Quest Tarot Kit. It is Joseph Ernest Martin. Some of these things list and sell for pretty decent money, and we paid $10 less than 20%, so $10 all in after taxes. And I don't know what Craig is doing with Doug.
Not lifting it.
Oh, did you hear the growl? Anyways, would you have bought the Pelham puppet? Would you have bought this Quest Tarot? Or the Rhino plate? If you could help me find the Rhino plate, I would appreciate it. Thank you for coming back, Craig. Your turn to talk. I don't like talking. Take me off screen.
Boy, is Doug heavy. A My Child doll for $75. Well, we still haven't sold the boy. But we hope to sell him this week. Again, keeping an eye open all around the whole sort of thrift store. Saw that sticking out in the blanket section. So this is a vintage $12.99 Robbie Burns mohair plaid blanket throw. It's in great shape too. Vintage is really good when you've got, especially when you can see a good label on the inside there. So this is made in Scotland, approved by the Burns Federation. So $12.99 again. It's not a Hudson Bay blanket, but it's still something that has a good amount of people who like them. And it should be able to list it for between 50 and 75 or more. I have to do a tiny bit more research. Might be able to identify the actual plaid itself, but I can't at this point. Remember 2 weeks ago, we talked about the garage sale with a woman with all of the cross stitch that she wanted retail plus on. Well, at least I made up for a little bit. I found this. Yay! Country Santa. And this was, sticker fell off of it. This was $1.99. Yay! So again, different sections of the place that we're looking for. Oh, you thought it was an Ayers blanket. Lisa sold one for $140 Canadian, $150. The Robbie Burns blanket, possibly. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. And then another thing that I've talked a little bit about in the past, and I can't find this anywhere either. Brito. So those of you in the Kennel Club know I've talked about Brito as one of the things that we call as one of our woofs. Now, this is a puzzle. It's not an actual calendar. It's just a puzzle, and it's not complete. So I'm taking a bit of a risk on this. It was $5. So I know it's a risk on my part, but the good thing about it is when I checked inside, the 5 of the months were still all in their packages. So there's 2 months per package because it's a double-sided package, but there's only 5 months in here. So you're supposed to take those and build them into this frame. Woo! Oh, wait a second. There's the 6th one. Yay, it's complete. I didn't lift that up to see inside. And it looks actually like the puzzle can be done for any month of any year. So that could be a really good calendar puzzle for somebody who is a Brito fan. I didn't even look at it good. But Brito, again, can make really good money. So the idea on a calendar and spending $5 on it, quite pleased. Now I'm even more pleased at myself for this.
I thought it was $1.99.
Huh?
I thought that was $1.99.
No, this one was $4.99. The cross stitch was $1.99.
Okay, sorry, I'm not paying attention. Do go on.
And then the one thing you told me not to buy before we get on to our most interesting item was this. Because Bratz is being reissued, this is a set of 8 Bratz placemats, and it's still in their baggie, and it was $3.99. So from my standpoint, we're talking about 50 cents a plate or a thing, and I'm actually going to sell these individually, probably listing them at $9.99 each. So $9.99 times 8 is $80. So I think I will get that relatively easly. But I'm going to show you next the thing that we found.
Craig, hold on a second. We have a couple of comments about puzzles. Carl, the lazy reseller, puzzles have to be sealed for me unless they're vintage Ravensburger. We actually don't care if puzzles are sealed.
Nope.
We don't care if they're complete. We sell them anyway.
Well, we hope they're complete. We hope they're complete.
We don't take the way back when your mom was still with us, she would do all of the puzzles and make sure they were complete. I do not do crossword puzzles. We don't have enough surface area clear to do these puzzles. So we sell them, and if somebody complains after putting them together that there are pieces missing, we refund.
Yep.
It's like, okay, sorry.
And a lot of times part of the challenge as well is if you have an open puzzle box, it may say 500 pieces, but it's actually 497 pieces, or it's 503 pieces. They aren't necessarily exactly the amount of pieces that are on there. Back when we first started with the pandemic, we had a bunch of puzzles that we had for a long time and hadn't listed any of them. And we started listing them, and they started going for 40, 50, 60 bucks a piece. So, and they were all opened, and we did not count them. They were I'm not doing a 2,000 or a 5,000 piece puzzle. But it's worth your while. And now at least this one happens to be sealed. So that's a good thing. Angelique says she loves puzzles, but can only do them online now because you have cats who love to undo puzzles.
What would Doug make with
puzzles? Parts in puzzles, hoping to find cash. Usually just find pencils. And Jason said that he sells a lot of open puzzles. So, but here is the most interesting thing that we found probably in a long time. We found this actually yesterday, right, Rick? Yeah, it was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Yesterday.
We were in a Salvation Army, and I walked by this thing quite quickly. It was like I saw I saw this black box. Then Rick walked by, and I saw him like across the thing, and he was like, "Oh, he's over there," and he picked up one of the black boxes and put the black box down. And then I walked back over to where he was going, "What is that?" and took a closer look at them. And this is what they were. They were very interesting black boxes that had carved things on the top of them. So, like, this is literally like an impression. This is carved into these boxes. So you can see on them. And there were not only one, but there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these boxes. And there's a couple, you open them up inside that they're blue. And I actually have one of them right behind me so I can give you a closer sort of live shot of what it looked like. Let me go to me here. So this is one of them. They're not light. You can see the design on this, how it's carved into the design. They have a big plastic thing up here, and this happens to say on the side of it, Santiago 2. And this is how they're held together magnetically. Opens up on the inside. Well, the neat thing is, inside them was this. iBride. Now, of course, the first thing I do when I look at this and I say iBride, I'm like, is this bridal stuff? And Rick and I are both going, why would are these bridal boxes? Are they shower boxes? Are they something? What the heck is iBride? This set happened to be called Aeropostal, and it was designed, a modular collection of 5 chests designed in 2014 by Benoit Converse. Well, we do a little more checking on them, and it shows you how they were built. So this is how they're supposed to actually go together. They stand on a little stand, and then Rick looks underneath the table that they're on, and he finds the bench. So we find all of the pieces for this set. And I'm just going to show you.
The price was ridiculous.
So this entire thing, and there it all is, sitting at a set at our
storage unit.
Locker. Jason can probably see our our Whitco that got moved back there while we move stuff around. The entire set of all of these was $29.99.
And it was the Salvation Army, so no tax.
No tax, and I had a 20% coupon. And each one of the boxes, like there's that one that says Santiago on it, but this box says, on the side of it, it says Sahara Occidental. And we've done a little bit of research on it. And what it is there's actually even room on the sides of them. It's meant to actually be held together, strangely enough, by a bungee cord. So every box has this row so that this you put they'll stack them on top of each other and hold on with a bungee cord. And we were thinking, I wonder if they actually donated the bungee cord. And then the Salvation Army looked at it and went, oh, this doesn't belong with those, and threw it out. But this whole set of 6. This one's called Atlantic Sud. And so Rick had found some information on this, and I'm going to turn it over to him to tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, you'll have to show my screen.
Okay, here we go.
So to start off with, because it had the website ibride.fr, I immediately went onto the internet and typed that into the web browser, and that website on the little sheet of paper was dated 2014. Between 2014 and now, they changed ibride.fr. It now points to ibridedesign.com. So I could not find any current information about that particular product, l'Aeropostale, on the current iBride site. So I used the Wayback Machine and I went to 2014 and I found l'Aeropostale listed on the iBride website. This is from 2014.
So remember, Rick was telling you, he just said, you use the Wayback Machine. Those of you who are in the Kennel Club, you know that was part of the research deck that we put together, and we did that little thing to show you how to use it. So he actually used that thing to find this dead web page.
Yes, and it was cached, so they were able to serve it up. The only bad thing about their website, it doesn't include any pricing. They are the designers, and they send their products to distributors around the globe. There are no Canadian distributors. The closest distribution house to us is actually in Detroit, and there are 3 in New York City and 1 in Chicago. So we're not sure how these wound up in Ontario. They're made in France. They are a high quality pressed HDF, and there's a bunch of information about what they actually mean. They're black monoliths, and the surfaces are carved out, and the surfaces represent things that people in the French plains during World War II or 1935, whatever war was going on there, what they would have seen from the plane.
So you look at those images that Rick just has there, and then you go back to this, and you'll see those images in the way that they've actually done them. There's that sandy image right there that Rick has showing up there. There's those waves.
And Craig actually has the Santiago box up beside him. I did find a couple of websites that had pricing for the set, or most of the set, and the Santiago piece that Craig has. So show my screen again, Craigie. That's what I could find about the Santiago box.
Just this one box.
Just the one box, 242 euros.
So,
which is about $270, $275 US for the one box. But that's the exact box that Craig has. They do show the entire set here.
And there's
you
the
can see
bungee
the cord. But they don't have pricing for the full set. I did find a website as well that had 4 of the boxes and the base for 1,402 euros. So if you add the 252 euros to the 1,402 euros, you get, what, 1,650 euros, which is about $1,900 US. So I'm quite happy with being able to find that. And now we have to figure out if we're going to keep it and figure out how it fits into our decor.
That was the challenge now, because when we saw them, we literally said when we saw them, these are pretty neat. Okay, there's 6 of them, 5 of them, $25, that's $5 a piece. We'll just throw these in Max Sold and see what they get. And then we started doing a little research, and then it's like, oh wow, we might have like a $1,500 to $2,000 item we just got for $25. It's like, do we want to sell it? I don't know. Do we need it? No, we don't need it.
The thing is, as well, I know they were higher quality because the piece that Craig has, the Santiago box, we put it on the scale and it's almost 17 pounds.
This little piece.
That little box is almost 17 pounds. It has heft.
Like, yeah, it is very nice. And again, one of those things that when you shop the store. We wouldn't have even normally, like, if you're one of those people and you just go to China or you just go to clothing or you just go somewhere else, you would have missed this.
And Craig might not have looked at it if I hadn't gone into the store as well.
Yeah, I actually, as I said, I walked by it, then Rick walked by it, and then I went back to it, because when I walked by it, it's sort of in my side glance, I just saw black boxes. I didn't think anything of it. And then when Rick picked it up, I saw him open one, and I think I saw the blue on the back, and I went, what is it that he's looking at? So again, that was actually sitting in the furniture department in this Salvation Army that we were at, because it sits there just in that area where, like, it's kind of like, I guess they thought it was boxes. So again, we're thrilled, and we looked at it, found it in a place that we never normally would have looked. So keep your eyes open. If you don't normally walk by the rug section or the blanket section, walk by. You might see something sticking out like that. If you recall, last week or the week before, we talked about the Armani vest that we got that was sitting in the men's department, but it jumped out at us. So just make sure you do that little walk around. Even the other day, I was walking and I just sort of scanned like this through a paperback section and found a bunch of Beatles paperbacks that are worth about $60 that I paid $1 a piece for. So I don't limit to one place. Just keep looking around.
We're going to do a quick thrift
offers, and don't take less than $2,500. That's the kind of thing we might consider doing, like being really, really ballsy with something like that, and then seeing if someone's going to pay us that. Then yeah, we don't mind letting them go. But they are very interesting looking. We just have to figure out where we would put them in the house and what we would actually use them. Oh, thank you. Our blanket is Dress Stuart Tartan. I have to remember that. The Versace vest. Yeah, I said Armani. You're right. Versace.
It's Versace. Versace.
Yeah, and the other thing we might consider doing with these is, if we really don't want to keep them, we may actually get in touch with a major like auction house, like a Sotheby's or Ritchie's, to get them, because they could be that kind of thing that people would go nuts at and pay a couple of $1,000s or more for. So just an interesting thing that we found. But then once you find things like that, you also find things that you don't know whether or not it is worth your while to look at. And so it's time for a couple of quick little thrift it. Oh, that's the wrong picture. Thrift it or throw it before we go for today. And we want to see what you would have done. Would you have taken these things? Yes, we will take the $29 stickers off of it before we take any pictures.
And Craig said he would go back for the cord.
I'm going back to the Salvation Army for the cord, actually, to look for the cord tomorrow in various sections.
I may actually write the company and see if they have any extras hanging around in their storeroom.
I'm a bad gay. I get my card taken. I got one part of my toaster is no longer available. Because I named
one of your sparkles fell off.
One of my sparkles. So, number one, last week we were talking Disney, so I got 3 things here that are Disney, and I want you to tell me if you think these are worth thrifting or throwing. So a lot of times when we do the thrift it or throw it, we have a chance to look some stuff up. You
better mute me.
Oh, right, because he keeps answering the questions for you. I thought, you're not being serious. So there's this Finding Nemo water globe. So $5.99. Let me know what you think you would do with this. Would you thrift this item or would you throw this item? So it's actually inside. It was complete. It wasn't broken. It's in there. So when I was looking at it, I'm making sure, yeah, this is right. This is good. Nothing's broke on it, but it's a Hallmark globe. Part of the challenge with some of these Hallmark globes is there's no dates on the boxes. So you can't naturally go, oh, this is a 1998. This is from 2001, any of those sort of things. So what do we got here? So that's a combo right now. We got throw, thrift, scan the UPC, throw, thrift, Hallmark, yay, throw. What does that mean?
It's the water globe.
Oh.
It's on the package.
Thrift if the water's not yellowing. Thrift. So there's a 50-50 split on this. Thrift it or throw it. And did we thrift it or did we throw it? We threw it. We left it on the counter. Why would we leave something like that on the counter? Well, we left it on the counter because there wasn't yes, when the movie came out can help, but they, for example, Nightmare Before Christmas has been out for a long time and they're always releasing more and more and more water globes. So it's a hard thing. And Pauline's right. Water globes scare me to ship. They scare me to ship in the winter. I'm afraid to ship them because that they may end up going someplace that is just too darn cold. And
well,
so
when we ship water globes, and we have shipped the little ones. We just shipped a Disney Park one. I triple bagged it. I put it in a Ziploc with some absorbent material, put it in another Ziploc with more absorbent material, put it in a third Ziploc and tape the Ziploc shut, and then wrap it with the bubble wrap and put it in a sturdy box.
So speaking of teacups,
yay! Teacups.
This is the kind of thing that we find at Value Village all the time. So this is from a Value Village. This is a teacup, and if you want to see the back of it, it is an Ainsley teacup. It isn't like double warrant Paragon or anything along those lines. It was marked at $7.99. So I know we've told you about some of the things, but what would you do is, well, no, it's in my cart because it was harder to take a picture of it. I was afraid if I took a picture of it with everything, it would get really confusing. So that's why I put it in the cart for that. Thrift it or throw it. We got to thrift it. Water won't freeze. It has antifreeze in it. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Sherry. I've learned another thing today. Heather says no. Thrift. Ping it. Right, Claire. You got the right idea. I did ping it. It did work great. There was a good ping to it. Thrift it, throw it. That's so pretty. Thank you. Thrift it. And Rick, what did we do? Did we thrift it or throw it?
Well, this is something that he showed me by Messenger. So
we did.
I told him to buy it, but it had to pass the ping test.
Yeah, so I did ping it.
And it has a lovely ping. And Ainsley, for those of you who look at the names on teacups, Ainsley is one of the higher end brands, more collectible, more sought after. And this is a really pretty pattern inside the cup and on the saucer. There is no pattern number listed on the back, so it might take me a little bit of digging to find out exactly what it is. And if I can't find exactly what it is, then I will describe it as best I can. I'm finding that when I can't find patterns, the simplest way is to describe it with the best keywords. You know, the Queen Anne teacup that we just sold didn't have a pattern, but I think more people looked at it because of the language and the words I used for them to find it. So that was thrifted.
Back to the back to Donna's 0 for 2. Back to the world of Disney. We found this, which is a Paradise Pier. Oh, that's clicking it too big. That's a Paradise Pier photo frame. So it was $2.99. You actually put the photo inside there. It's one of those rubber kind of photo frames that you get when you're down at Disney. They have tons of these that they come out with all the time, this rubbery kind of stuff. Heather thought that was too much money. Carl says he picks up Ainsley, Paragon, and Shelley for now.
I've never seen a Shelley teacup in Canada.
I hope that is a teacup. So Jason says he would throw this. He picks, I don't know. She could work at the thrift store for all I know. Throw it. Wow, this is thrift. Park stuff is good. Adrian's got it. So Adrian's the only thrift right now. The rest of you are all throw. Oh no, Sarah's a thrifted. So for the majority of you, you would say that you would throw this. And I tell you what, did we do? Well, we thrifted it. Now, why would I thrift something like this? Well, part of the reason is because it's Paradise Pier Hotel. So it doesn't actually have something that has a date on it, but it's actually a really nice souvenir of the hotel itself. I would never actually, if I had this and I was a Disney fan, I would just have this on display. I wouldn't actually take the sun out of there. Not only that, but when I looked up Paradise Pier hotels, there are very few items actually on Disney, and some of them that are there have got really good pricing on them. So look at that. The Sun Wheel toy, $199. A trash can sign for $55. I could not actually find this. There's the Paradise Pier You Are Here cup for $35. So I couldn't find this. I found pins selling for $20, hats selling for $25, but I couldn't find this specific thing. So there's just the California pin for $16. There's just the Sun logo pin for $16. So I thought on this case, we haven't stayed there, but I thought it was worth the risk for $3 because it is in dead perfect shape. And I think somebody who is a Paradise Pier nut, I'm going to list it most likely as an auction to start out, probably at like $30 to see what will happen with it. And we'll try and get that listed this week and let you know what happens with that. Also in the Disney World, let's go from that to another one, which is Disney dial art. So this is Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse dial art. Oh, I keep doing that. It is complete inside the box. It's kind of like a little plastic thing where you put these little dials down on here and you color with them with a pencil. And then as you turn the thing around and color more of the lines, it actually completes and makes pictures of Mickey Mouse like that. So you can see there's the example right there. And then there's 12 character stencils. All 3 of the 12 character stencils are in there. There were no crayons. And the 12 sheets of paper, which it says were also part and parcel of this. There was some paper that was in there as well. So when I was looking at it, the box has some wear on it as well, but it is only $5.99. So for me, $5.99 for something like this. You can see it's the Canadian package that has the instructions en français stuck on the top. And what do we got here? Oh, Jason said, I love the dial art when I was a kid. I've actually never seen this dial art stuff.
I had that in Calgary.
Thrift. Jason still is a kid. That's true. Thrift. As long as the dials are there, then thrift it. Thrift. Everybody's saying thrift. And what did we do? We threw it. Now, why would we throw something like that? Well, you'd be surprised. We did our research. And in this case, the Disney dial art. Okay, I have to put that in. See if I can find it, if it's going to let me find it. Come on. I did look it up actually in the store, and I found that I couldn't find one that was selling or was listed for more than $9. So I didn't get it because it was only going to be a $9 kind of flip, $9 to $10. So it was big, and just the idea behind it was, yeah, womp womp. Yeah, but even on Etsy, I wasn't going to risk $6 on something that I might try to get 20 for on Etsy. So
yeah, the shipping on that would have been high too.
Huh?
The shipping on that would have been high, probably.
Donna's like 0 for 4. Again, Donna, don't feel bad that it's 0 for 4. It's one of those things that just sometimes you'll find stuff that is some people really, really like, and that just means that I'll find something. You found stuff that I don't find. I find stuff that you don't find. There's so much stuff. Again, it's all over the whole store, so don't feel bad about that. But you just know that what I've done is different from you. That's what makes thrifting great for anyway. We didn't really want to try and piece it apart again. If the entire thing is listing on eBay for $10 it's not worth piecing apart. No one's gonna. You might as well buy a brand new one for $10 than buy pieces of one for $5 or $6. So that's
and we have lots of other things we're selling for parts now.
We do parts on a lot of things, so it does remind me of Spirograph an awful lot too. I'm always talking about plates, so I know we're about 10 minutes over. We got a couple more left. I'm always talking about plates, and if something grabs my eye, I got to take a better look at it. Sometimes it's worth grabbing your eye. Sometimes it's not worth grabbing on your eye. And here's what I had on this one. Walking by, lower shelf, almost the bottom shelf. I see this little thing in the background there, and this is these plates. It was a set of 4 for $5.99. So I took them out and I flipped them over, and they are Mikasa Indian Feast Half Moon Oven to Tableware, made in Japan. So if you saw a set of 6 of those for $5.99, or 4 of those for $5.99, is that something you would thrift or throw? So 6 of the Half Moon plates, 5 of the Half Moon plates for $6. So big exclamation mark. 4 of the plates for $6. Those are cute. Thrift it. So I got thrift it coming from everybody. Thrift. Sherry says thrift for sure. Sarah says thrifter. She helps put the F in thrift for her. Lisa's thrift. Angelica's thrift. Mikasa, probably throw. And that's just it. Mikasa doesn't necessarily mean it's good. So you got to think, you got to look. 70s thrift it. Nellie says, I don't do plates unless they have cats on them.
Real cats or cat pictures?
Yeah. No, I think it's real cat. I need Corel if it's cheap enough. Oh, the Corel that's beside it. Thrift it. So majority of thrift it, and some just 1 or 2 throw it. And what did we do? Oh yeah, I had to get these. And the reason I had to get these is exactly as said by people. So it's Mikasa Indian Feast Half Moon, the set of 4. And if I pop onto here and I put in Mikasa Indian Feast, this is why I grabbed those. Take a look. This isn't that specific set.
Put in the Half Moon.
I know. I am going to get there, Rick, but I'm trying to show there. 2 Half Moon plates, $70. Now, again, this is the ask. There's 4 for $75. And if we go to solds, 3 Half Moon plates for $75. 2 for $85, 4 for $75, 1 for $42. So, yeah, Joe, that's what I would. Oh my God, too. When I looked that up, I actually liked these and thought if they weren't worth anything, I might keep them for us. And again, then I found out what they're worth, and now I don't want to keep them for us.
I think those are the salad plates, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, we will be putting. We do try and put some stuff onto Etsy, but it's our preferred platform is eBay. Just on hand, we just love eBay. We've grown up with it, sort of from our standpoint. I'm always struggling with Etsy and the keywords and everything like that, and the category.
I don't like the free shipping on everything over $35. That rankles me.
Shipping on everything over $35. We're trying more on some areas, but we've got items. I just reviewed our Etsy store actually earlier on today, and a whole bunch of our items have had like no views in like 30 days. So it's like where I get more views on the other side of things. So again, that was a nice little find. I got 2 last things for you to show you here, and let me see if I can find this one. This is back to Rick again. This was a set of cups and saucers, and it was a set of 6. They are well, actually, this is kind of, you showed this one, didn't you, Rick?
I showed this one.
You sort of screwed this up. This was.
Would you have thrifted it?
It's obviously that it was thrifted. I'll go back to Rick to show him here. The sets here, $24.99 for the. There was a total of 18 pieces. 18 so
pieces.
Each one.
So there's the teacup, the saucer, and the sandwich plate. So it's a trio. And it is Royal Tuscan.
Now, the interesting thing, and that's just it, Carl. The interesting thing on that is we are actually looking at doing them potentially as just the 3. So even though we got them all, when we did look up the Royal Tuscan.
Watch me juggle.
When we did look these up, and again, this was a harder pattern to try and look up while I was sitting there with Rick. We did find the 3-piece set that sold, I think, Rick, for $25. I can't find it right now, but we did find the 3-piece set for like $25. And so when we looked at that, it's like we're getting 6 3-piece sets for $25.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we ended up looking at them, is saying, well, Rick's been doing really good with his teacups. He can put each one on. We can put them on a month apart. We could try and do something like that. So
I like these because they have flowers on the inside as well. So I've got a lot of great keywords that I can use. There's the gold filigree around the edge. There's the gold trim. It's a footed teacup. I will make sure they ping well, and I will check for crazing and hairline cracks. The same thing with the saucer. The saucer does have what appears to be a pattern number on the bottom. And what I would do is sell the trio, the sandwich plate, the saucer, and the teacup, and probably start the pricing around $49.99. Might even nudge it up to $69.99, depending on how the research goes for Royal Tuscan trios.
Yeah, well, no, and Carl, but the only thing is that if it was 3 sets was 25 and 1 set sells for 25, you would still pass. That's just you. Again, that's what we always say. You do you. But again, that's the other thing to think of. When you see a whole set like that, don't necessarily think, oh my God, I wouldn't want to ship 18 pieces. Think about it as a piece out in that case. That's 18 pieces.
I'm open to shipping 18 pieces.
$1.25 a piece is all we ended up paying for that, and you might buy $1.25 if you saw a bunch of those teacups at a garage sale for $1.25. You never know. It's just we do sell stuff. Don't get me wrong, we do sell stuff on Etsy. We haven't sold anything really hot lately, but when we put on our Kittles and some of our toys, our vintage toys, I will do that. We did really good with them. We do price them higher on Etsy than we do on eBay in order to cover off the free shipping and to cover so that it does do it pushed out. We've sold things that we haven't sold on eBay and put them onto Etsy, and it's sold on Etsy, but some of our things are slow. I'm actually probably going to flip some stuff over right now because I've had a few things on Etsy for a few months. I'm not getting a lot of use of them, so I'm probably going to throw them onto eBay and throw them into an auction. So now I'm going to show you the last thing tonight because we are over where we're supposed to be, just because it was something silly, and this is where you always have to be close at what you're looking at. This was going to be a thrifter to throw it, and I'll just show you why. I can see if I can find the pictures of it here. That's the picture here. So I see this thing, and I go, ooh, this is kind of neat. I wonder what it is. And I put the same picture up twice. I look at it, and it's Von Zipper. Well, I look up Von Zipper, and Von Zipper is a sunglass company. So I'm like, I can't find this Von Zipper thing anywhere. $2.99. This must be some kind of promotion. This is really neat. I think I better thrift this. And so I thrift it. And here it is. And doesn't this look neat? This is a really cool Von Zipper. And I thought, isn't this wonderful? This really neat kind of thing. And then Rick looks at me and goes, why did you buy a planter that someone threw stickers on top of? They're stickers. Yeah, this is not a quote. This is literally somebody who just stuck stickers.
Well, they did a pretty good job.
They did a nice job. Yeah,
it looked like it could have been mass produced.
So I don't know what the heck is like. I'm probably still gonna try and sell it, but it's just a regular old planter that I bought for $2.99. So again, sometimes you say, "Oh, look at like the dogs are on fire." Well, we're on fire with some things, but we can out just as bad as anybody else on buying something. We can ship something, and we can have a teacup that cracks.
Jason,
I thought about that. I was like, I'm gonna put like Von Zipper. I don't know how I'm gonna describe it, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
I didn't even know. It's like Rick noticed that there's like a piece of a sticker that's almost coming up, but it did look neat. And if you're a Von Zipper fan, you might actually pay for something like that. You never know. Carl says, I make so many mistakes. We all make mistakes, but that's part of learning. It is cute. We might put it in the next Max Sold, but I'll try and probably put it first onto eBay. Good for pen holders. Yeah, there's things we put right back in the donation bag. That's true. So just so you know, you can do stuff just like us. Maybe you'll find something amazing like our black Aeropostale French designer boxes for $29 if you shop the store, or you may come home with a jar with some stickers on it. And either way, it's still what helps keep
or some lovely teacups
that can ping, but it's still all of those things are the ways to help keep the F
for fun
in thrifting, and that's what we like to try and do. Thanks again to everybody
over here. It would just be thrift.
It would just be thrifting. And thanks for everybody on the side here, especially all of those who are members of our 2DogsDigs Kennel Club on the Facebook group, our Kennel Club Facebook group, where we were posting some more stuff there recently. Sell that Vaughn for $1 million. I might just try and do that. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and you'll see us coming up. We are going to be launching a Max Sold this Thursday, and we'll have 2 shows next week. One will be our Tuesday live, and our other will be a Thursday night live Max Sold closing. So you know how I love those, and we like seeing how much can it sound like my voice goes up on. Other than that, we'll keep seeing you in the Kennel Club. If not, we will hopefully see you on one of the other shows, either at Jason's Thrifty Business on Nay and Nay and Lola's YouTube channel when we're watching that,
Lola,
not Lila, or the Complete Reseller or Thrifting Facebook group. I'm tongue-tied. Yeah, my mouth is dry. I don't have a drink.
Oh, I forgot to give you something to drink. My fault.
Go sports, and watch the Olympics. They're fun. We're watching that right now, or we'll be going back to it. I'm glad, Brenda, you made it live too. Yay! Thanks so much. Woof from me. Woof from him. And okay, now Doug doesn't want to say anything. Woof from Doug.
No, he's sleeping. I don't want him to wake up.
Thanks, everyone. See you again soon.